It's time now for Real Estate Update. With Usha Chandra of GlobeNet Realty, real estate is our world.
Now we're standing here face to face, afraid.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is that time of the week when we talk about everything real estate. And with that, we'd like to welcome to the show, Usha.
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Mesh, and Australian Indian Radio.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. And of course, the segment is becoming very popular. There's lots of people who are watching and commenting. So, the information that's provided is very relevant and very current and up to date. So, looking at the housing market, we all know that, the industry is going through some very good times. So, what does it equate to in actuality? So, what are the results?
Actually, the real estate industry is on the boom. As we know, housing turnover reaches the highest level in nearly 12 years. So that shows the real estate market is going up and it's lifting up, and that tells you the sales in the last, the highest turnover in the last 12 years. Let's have a quick look at how many properties, houses and apartments sold in the last 12 years. There were almost 598 houses and units sales across Australia over the year ending on August 2021. The highest number of annual sales since 2004, and a 42% lift on the annual number of sales over the previous 12-month period. Nationally, the number of dwellings sold over the past year was 30% above the decade average of 24% higher than the 20-year average. Across the states, annual home sales are substantially higher than the year ago, with every state and territory apart from Tasmania recording a lift. The smaller increase in sales across Tasmania, where advertised supply was tracking approximately 35% below average at the end of August. This is probably the most attributable to lack of supply than the shortage of demand. So actually, looking at Tasmania, the demand was quite high, but the supply was not there. So that's why it was below average at the end of August. So looking at the major cities, the sales was quite high. 598,000 houses and units sold across the year ending 21st August 2021.
That is amazing news for the real estate industry. If you're looking at those figures there, wow, that is amazing, that the highest level in nearly 12 years. So the time to be in real estate, yes, that's amazing results there. And as you rightfully mentioned, the only place that went a little bit, did not operated below average was Tasmania. But that was, as you mentioned, rightfully mentioned, that it's attributable to the lack of supply rather than the demand. Well, so, what does it mean when we look at the combined capital cities into the auction, as we lead into the auction? So what's the report on the auctions?
Yes, the auction results was pretty good last week. There was combined capital city preliminary auction clearance improves across with higher volume sales recorded. There were 1,835 homes taken to auction across combined capital cities last week, up to 1,453 homes in the previous week and 915 this time last year. So look at it's doubled actually compared to last year. Out of the 1,400 results collected so far, 74.6% were very successful auctions. The previous week show a preliminary auction clearance rate of 72.3%. So you can compare, it's gone by more than 2%. The revised up to 73.7% was the final figure, while this time last year was only 67.6% of auctions were successful. So that shows the result was quite high compared to the previous year.
So that is once again, quite indicative of what the market is there. So, looking at we've looked at your report, so let's now go to the city by city and take a look at what the clearance rates and the auctions have been. So, if you could shed some light on the capital city auction stats.
Yes, let's have a quick look at the capital city auction results. Sydney, wow, the clearance rate was 82.3%. It's gone up as well. There was total number of auctions were 796 and 570 properties sold under the hammer. So the clearance rate was quite high, 82.3% in Sydney. Melbourne has gone a little bit high. It's 56.4% was compared to about 42% last result. 565 properties were taken to auction, only 216 sold under the hammer. Brisbane, wow, look at the Brisbane market. It's gone really high compared to Sydney, is equal to Sydney, 82.6%. Actually, it's higher than Sydney, 82.6%. 186 homes were taken to auction and 128 sold under the hammer. Adelaide is 85% clearance rate. 216 properties were taken and 113 properties sold under the hammer. Perth, look at Perth, the market is quite high. 90% of the auctions were sold under the hammer. 18 properties were taken to auction and 9 were sold under the hammer. Tasmania was not, there was only 7 properties taken to auction, but only 2 were sold there. Canberra was 78.6%. Actually, Canberra market has gone up as well compared to the previous result, was 72%. 47 properties were taken to auction and 33 properties sold under the hammer. And average, looking at the major cities, 74.6% was the clearance auction result. 1,835 properties were taken to auction and 1,071 sold under the hammer. So looking at the clearance rate compared to last year at this time, 82.3% is this year and last year was 67% in Sydney. Melbourne was higher, last year was 70% and this time is 56%. So looking at the average of the capital cities compared to last year, 74.6%, and last year the total combined cities was 67%.
And that is quite amazing, looking at the result, as you mentioned, 70.46 compared to last year's 67.6. And the total number of auctions in this period, 1,835 compared to 915 last year. And you rightfully mentioned about Brisbane as well, that it's on the go. Look at the number of auctions. I mean, look, that is just amazing results happening there. So booming times in real estate. Well, right now, moving on from auctions, let's take a look at what that has done to the capital city home values. So where are the home values sitting at this point in time?
The home value changes is not that high actually, apart from Sydney's weekly change was 4.4% compared to 0.2% in the previous result. Melbourne is still similar, 0.2% was the weekly change, and the monthly change was, the 12-month change was 14%. Brisbane has gone up, it was 0.2% in the previous result, it's 0.6%, and the compared to 12-month change was 19.1%. Adelaide has gone up as well, 0.4% compared to 0.3% in the previous result, and the 12-month change is 18.6%, and Perth was not applicable at all. So comparing the combined five capital cities, the weekly change was 0.3% and the 12-month change was 18.4%, looking at the home value changes.
And once again, that is amazing results. The 12-month change, 18.4%, as you have mentioned there, and that is good to see. But as you mentioned, but from the previous period, the 12-month change is 18.4, which is good. But from the previous result, it hasn't gone that up, 0.3 as you rightfully.
Compared to 0.4 in Brisbane.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very good observation there, and some very good stats that have been put out there. Well, of course, looking at those number of sales that are happening and looking at what the results we discussed about Tasmania was that it was lack of supply rather than shortage of demand. That's all. So looking at all of that, what are the capital city listings at this point in time?
The listing Looking at the capital cities, Sydney, there are 6,194 properties, new listings have come on the market, compared to previous result was 5,000 something there, and it's gone up by, still minus 25%. The total number of listings to date was 17,301. Melbourne, 4,798 new listings have come on the market, and 21,344 listings up to date, and it's in a plus 16.3%. The Melbourne market is quite a lot of listings there. It's only in plus there. And Brisbane, 4,224 properties, minus 31.3% still. 13,724 is year to date. Adelaide is 1,825 new listings, and 4,953 is year to date listings, and still minus 21.8%. Perth was 3,780 properties, new listings have come on the market, 14,248 year to date, and still minus 15.5%. Looking at Perth, 3,780 new properties, 14,248, minus 15.5%. Hobart is 297 new properties, 651 is their total listings, minus 30.2%. Darwin is 234 new listings and 934, and Darwin is plus actually 11.3%. Canberra is 388 new listings, 1,272 new listings year to date, minus 37.6%. So looking at all the capital cities, as we have discussed over the couple of weeks, there's only plus in two major cities, Melbourne and the other one is Darwin, 11% and 16% plus. Combined capital cities, 21,740 new listings, year to date is 74,427, still minus 15.9%, so minus 16% basically in listings. So some of the cities have got more listings compared to the others. That's the result there.
Yeah, of course, some will always have more than the others. And looking at Melbourne, which completely, blows the chart out of water. Yeah. If you look at the 12-month change, almost 200%. So 198.4% rise in number of listings. So what it means is that so many listings coming on the market there. It shows that those lockdowns are having an effect, and people are trying to put their houses on the market, sell and move up here. And that's what's seen in a lot of activities around here. So there's quite a lot of sales there. And of course, when you look at the 12-month change, compared to Canberra, which is at minus 37, and if you look at Melbourne on plus 16, so there's a big difference between the top in both ends. So this graph is just amazing. It just gives you a very, very clear picture, and looking at it on a weekly basis, you can always see what's actually happening. And this was what we had predicted, and look at that, almost 200% rise in number of listings in Melbourne. Wow. Again, a tip that we have always been talking about, that maybe the time to buy is the time where everyone else is selling. So place to invest in a tip is Melbourne. Yeah, but we'd like people to come and invest in Brisbane.
Yes, a lot of people are coming.
Yeah, they are. So you can see they're selling there and coming in and moving up here. Well, looking at all that, of course, we have looked at the auction results, and auctions are the indicator of the market, and that's what the industry has always been gauging. And as we have already spoken in previous episodes, that not everyone takes their property to auction. There's quite a lot of sales that still happen via private treaty. So let's take a look at some private treaty and what's happening in the major capitals.
Yes, still a lot of people prefer to buy under private treaty instead of auction, because it's not pressure. Buying at auction is a lot of pressure as well. Let's have a quick look at the capital cities. Sydney, number of sales was 1,616. The median price is still quite steady there. 965,000 is their median price in houses. Melbourne was 1,365. Looking at Melbourne sales is quite high up as well, but their median price has gone by 500. $500 more compared to last results was 730, now it's 730, 500. Brisbane is 1,320 properties. Brisbane market is gone a little bit up. 553,000 is their price compared to the previous result was 550. Adelaide is 583 properties sold. 510,000 is their median price, is quite steady there. Perth is 1,181 new homes sold. 480 is their median price, quite reasonably priced there. Hobart is 140 properties. Look at Hobart prices, 733 compared to Melbourne. Obviously, Melbourne market is quite down there, and Hobart price is skyrocketing. 733,000 is their median price. Darwin is 73 properties sold. 570,000 is their median price. It's quite steady there as well. Canberra 44 sales and 793,000. 750 is their median price. Canberra median price has gone down as well compared to before. It was 950,000 was their median price. So let's have a quick look at combined cities in houses, number of sales. 6,322 number of sales happened there, and the median price, the combined medium capital city prices is 684,000, basically 685,000. Let's have a quick look at the units and apartments. Number of sales in Sydney was 989. The median price is quite high, 685. Melbourne was 581 new apartments sold. 570 is their median price. Brisbane was 367 properties sold. 420, the price is quite steady here. Adelaide was 187. 375 is their median price. Perth was 384 new sales and 418 is their median price. Hobart is 39 and their median price is quite high. Looking at all the cities, 573 is their median price. Darwin is 338 properties, apartments sold, and 367 500 is their median price. Canberra 83 apartments, 459 is their median price. So by looking at Canberra price, it's gone down in houses and apartments as well. The number of sales in apartments was 2,668 and 550 is their median price.
So, looking at all that is quite indicative of what's happening, and one of the things that we talked about was, the lack of number of listings rather than the demand. But obviously, the market has sort of stabilized, as you mentioned, that previously it was on a higher level. So, okay, looking at all of these, overall, let's take a look at the market and looking at the number of weeks and the time it takes to sell a property, and of course, are the vendors discounting any price?
Yes, looking at all the capital cities, let's have a quick look at Sydney first. 27 days is the market, medium days on the market, and vendor discount is minus 2.7%. Melbourne is 40 days in houses, minus 2.9%. Brisbane is 36 days on the market, minus 2.4%. And Adelaide is 30 days on the market, 2.1% is vendor discount. Perth is 41 days, minus 2.4% is vendor discount. Hobart is 19 days, no discount there at all. And looking at Darwin, 51 days on the market, minus 3.1%. Canberra is 21 days, there's no discount in the prices at all, not applicable at all. Let's have a quick look at the units and apartments. Medium days on the market in Sydney has been 36 days, and minus 2.2% is their vendor discount. And Melbourne has been 54 days. Looking at compared to Sydney and Melbourne, 54 days on the market, minus 2% is the vendor discount. Brisbane is amazing as well, 49 days on the market, minus 2.4%. Adelaide is 30 days, minus 2.6%. Perth is 43 days, minus 2.6% there as well. Hobart, as we mentioned, there is no discount in Hobart. If you want to buy it, just pay the price and move on. And Darwin, look at Darwin, 61 days and minus 4.2% is vendor discount. Canberra is minus 40 days on the market, minus 2%. So in Canberra, looking at the houses and in the apartments, there's no discount in houses, but in apartments, because it's been on the market for 40 days, they're giving a bit of discount, minus 2% discount in Canberra.
A very, very good observation there. So in conclusion, let's look at your area, your local area, and we can look at all the things in this order. So maybe if you look at listings, fairs, sales, rentals, open houses.
Yes, in our area, there's the demand is quite high, as we have discussed with other parts of the capital cities. The demand is quite high, but the listings are not there. So we have got a couple of listings, but we've already are negotiating on those properties. We had an auction which was supposed to be this weekend, but we sold at the first open house for more than the owner's expectation, and it will be settled in another week's time. So that's what's happening in our area. We have got 2 new listings come on the market, and we'll be doing open houses this Saturday. So open houses will be at the property I've got in Dimbula Street in Brisbane Downs, and another one in Aberdeen Parade in Boondall, which I sold it last time, few years back. So that's coming on the market, and there will be open house at 127 Aberdeen Parade on Saturday at 11 o'clock as well. Looking at the listings on our rental market, we had 3 new listings, and 2 of them are already rented. There's one we have got open house today, and hopefully that will go as well. So open houses, we haven't got too many because we are selling it as soon as we list it. So we've got only 2 open houses in sales. And in conclusion, we are just haven't got that many properties. We've got a huge database of buyers waiting to buy the properties. And so if you are thinking of listing, please call us today or whenever you are convenient. Have got a good time. You can call at another time on 3865 4466, or my mobile number is always, you can reach me on my mobile number anytime, 0419 775 416. Thank you.
And thank you very much for that very informative session, and wonderful to have you on the show. Until next week, it's goodbye. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
GlobeNet Realty. GlobeNet Realty has been the longest established, trusted and respected agency in its trade area. Usha Chandra, Director of GlobeNet Realty, provides honest and ethical service to her customers. If you are thinking of investing in Brisbane real estate market, or if you are seeking professional property management, then you should contact Usha Chandra today on landline 3865 4466 or mobile 0419 775 416. And for further updates, log on to our website www.globenetralty.com.au. GlobeNet Realty is your own local real estate agency. Situated at Shop 52281 Sandgate Road, Boondall. GlobeNet Realty. Real estate is our world.
Estate is the world, and ladies and gentlemen, that's about all we have for you in this segment of Real Estate Update with Usha Chandra, who will be back again on next Wednesday. So every Wednesday she's back. Now don't forget that all the previous episodes are available for viewing on our website, and of course on our YouTube channel as well. So YouTube channel or Facebook ones, whichever takes your preference, you can go and watch all the previous episodes there as well. But the new episodes come on air every Wednesday. So looking forward to seeing you then as well. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow. And tomorrow morning, once again, 9 a.m. is the normal daily India report and our usual news update. And at 10 a.m. it will be Tanvi Goyal of Oz India Travel with the travel updates at this point in time. And of course, we have the migration update with Suman Dua once a month, and we have the Aapki Sehat, the program on your health by the Doctors Association, the Indian Medical Association of Queensland here as well. So there's lots more happening, and there are opportunities now for you to get a naming right in one of the programs, or to have your ads played within the segment. please contact Rajni for further details. Until tomorrow, it's goodbye from me.